Bush Pullers Association, has been for the last couple of years. And has had a real great year with the Nebraska Bush Pullers, finishing up second in the 5,500-pound ranks and number 4 in the 7,500-pound class. On the north track, we're getting ready for the... Okay, first tractor up in the 7,700-pound super stock tractors. And the south track, second attempt for Jerry Miller. He is the Bush Puller out of Wheat, Nebraska. Playmate out of Wheat, Nebraska. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you what, he's using everything up he's got in that 1070 base. And this will be the second year that Jerry's had this track where he's pulled for many years with the 30th. Mini Rod Association is assisting me more like she's telling me exactly what's going on out here this evening. Says that we are mixing the blower engines along with the fuel injection engines this evening. So as we see right here, we see just a fuel-injected type of machine, and some of them are blowers. Okay, next up is going to be Don Dahl of Grofoss. These folks are out of Minnesota, and this is a pro stock tractor with one turbocharger that typically runs in the pro class, but is competing here in the 7,700-pound class. Series 2 out of St. Charles, Minnesota. And this is a Pasoda 1666 tractor, the old 1066 that got a lot of fishing with the outlaw trucking tractor pullers once in a while. So I think this is one of the first hooks he's made with this 3088 this year. Called Temperamental, runs on alcohol out of Poland, Nebraska. Okay, the little 3088 out of Poland. He had to back out, but he was getting awful close to the chalk and the officials down there. And we'll get assistance in a moment. Right now, this thing's being held by Don Dahl out of Minnesota with the Profoss on the south track. And ladies and gentlemen, I have to say I know this guy quite well. This is my young son, Kyle Pitch, out of Milford, Nebraska. He's a student here at the University of Nebraska. And this evening, he's driving the High Plains Raider, owned and operated by Randy Herbert, out of Ravenna, Nebraska. Randy got here just a little bit late tonight. So Kyle is on board. He does drive this once in a while for Randy, so I mentioned Kyle will be on board tonight, and Randy will be on tomorrow. He has won the points championship with the Nebraska Tractor Pullers Association the last couple of years. Randy's been the past secretary for years. So Kyle Pitch out of Milford, Nebraska, on board the High Plains Raider out of Ravenna, Nebraska. Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause out of Milford, Nebraska, Kyle Pitch. And the tractor owned by Randy Herbert, past the secretary of the Nebraska Tractor Pullers Organization for many, many years. And he is out of Macon, Missouri. And farms and is a college student. So Dad's pretty well been forward for quite a few years. This is an alcohol pilot farmhole. Do we have any farmhole fans out there this evening, or Case IH fans? Let's hear from you. You've had several of the big red in the 7,700. This is one strong tractor out of Macon, Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause. I'll tell you what, that alcohol does develop a large amount of horsepower. And that has been the trend in the 55, 7,500-pound super classes over the years. And you can obviously see why. There's 7220 out of Macon, Missouri. The Show Me Showdown. Doing a good job. We'll get assistance here in a moment. Right now, being well with the Nebraska Tractor Pullers Association in the 7,500-pound class this year. Lyle's been an officer of that organization back for many, many years back. Mike just mentioned something about Lyle. Several years ago already, a bunch of us celebrated Lyle's 70th birthday, and that's been a few years ago. So this gentleman has been tractor pulling and has a lot of fun with it, has a lot of horsepower in this big old black 3688 out of Bolus, Nebraska. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause. This gentleman, first time I seen him hook this season, or second, yeah, first or second. First time he took the first place over Ravenna, Nebraska State Association event. 5-year bandwidth for the Nebraska Tractor Pullers Association a couple years ago. So been very instrumental in that group. Glad to have him here pulling with the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pullers Association in the 7,700-pound class. Okay. He's got one more attempt, ladies and gentlemen. See, there two. Okay, next up is going to be James McGuire out of Wood River, Nebraska. This young man is 19 years old, ladies and gentlemen. I might just mention this tractor many years before was campaigned by his dad, Tim McGuire, out of Wood River. Hot stuff. And Richard's another one of those folks that's pulled here from the grandstand many a time. I used to sit in that grandstand and watch this guy. He kind of runs a unique system. He's running 2 turbochargers, 30.5, 32 tires, so he is an official super stock here. A lot of the tractors that are this size run with 3 or 4 turbochargers, and Richard has been pretty competitive with 2 chargers. Now, he may have put 3 on. We're not sure, but a real fine guy. Good sportsman, good tractor puller, and he always kind of helps put on the tractor pull at Council Bluffs, Iowa, called West Fair. And we always appreciate his hospitality when we come to Council Bluffs, Nebraska. So Richard's been pulling with the Iowa Tractor Pullers for many a year. Here we go, 7,700-pound super stock. Okay, bringing it all up to the 966 out of Henderson, Iowa, ladies and gentlemen. You bet. Puts down a good bounce there. He is up in the back. Well, right now, Ray Mahoney, this gentleman is also out of Macon, Missouri. Dave Marino on that alcohol-fired Magnum tractor was also out of Macon. And Chuck Lee is also out of there. Has a real hard run at 1066. And he's a mechanic down in that part of the country. Called the high stepping. And I'll tell you what, this guy does rock and roll with this tractor. So again, Farmall fans, this guy could make you proud this evening. And here he goes. Got about 3 of those turbochargers underneath that hood of that Farmall. Okay, high stepping all the way out of Macon. Ladies and gentlemen, give me a round of applause. And if you take a look, the side shields on that tractor are quite beautiful, as many of these units are. These guys take a lot of fine line work. 1,500. Right now puts him into number 4 position with 281 feet and 1,500s. Okay, we're getting underway on the super stock side. It's going to be John Norman out of Sweet Springs, Missouri. And he's on the D21. It's one of those big diesel fuel pumps and 3 turbochargers. That's pretty typical for these super stock tractors. Doing a fine guy down at the university, down at the state there at Missouri. That was a 100%. Okay, if there's any Ellis Chalmers fans out there, give them a big round of applause. I think that's about our first pumpkin tractor out here. I got to tell you a little story about John. I don't know him real well. I talked with him this afternoon last week. Guys used to campaign a big road stock tractor. And they're primarily running this tractor as a 7,500-pound class. Once in a while, when they get brave, they'll run the 5,500-pound super stock class. Got a lot of horsepower for the 5,500-pound package, so they kind of opt sometimes to pull this heavier 7,500. So we're underway. Mike Mueller, Chairman of the Board of the Nebraska Bush Pullers, says we're underway, and Reggie Simonson at the 300-foot mark. So we're underway. The bullet out of Rogersville, Missouri. And at the controls, Tim Felton. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, give him a big round of applause out of Rogersville. And I'll tell you what, he doesn't have a big engine like some of those folks have. Doing a real good is a full stock tractor who runs 1 big turbocharger. The big Astro Alice called the Hurricane Alice. And these guys will run the 24-532. Their class is actually 10,000 pounds boat, but they are running for the points championship in the 7,500 pound super stock class. Dorman family, been running this tractor for many years, does a great job with it. So all you orange types, these guys usually make the crowd that's into orange off the crowd. So on board this easy, should be time to run out a little racing. Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause. And Alvin Dorman, which is out of Winchester, Kansas. These folks are all out kind of west side of Kansas City. Dad and several sons. Dorman farms out there. They farm quite a bit. Now force him into the number 80 position. Don Dahl on the profile out of Minnesota is number 1. Dave Moreno with the Show Me Showdown, number 2. And Richard Gould out of Henderson, Iowa, number 3. So Frank Standard, right now, it looks like he's going to be our number 12 tractor in the 7,700-pound class. Okay, trying to get all of those turbochargers wound up. Puts on the power and the water, and comes down with about 200 pounds of input now full pressure on this tractor. Okay, we hear another mini rod pulling up, and it's going to be Mike Schmale, and he's out of Snyder, Nebraska, and he is the out of Dillon, Nebraska. This will be a father-son team. Dad, Dwayne Shorter also pulls, and these guys do a lot of pulling with the outlaw pullers. They go down into Texas in the wintertime and do a lot of pulling. Half pulls with the Nebraska bush pullers years past, and pulls with the Nebraska tractor pullers these days. And usually top in the points if they're not winning the points championship. Tractor does well in the 5,500, but they do win it, and they do compete well in this 7,500 pound. And Robert's a farmer down there around Dillon, down around the Fairbury area. So here we go, straight through to out of Dillon, Nebraska. Okay, give a big round of applause to a mighty little tractor and a mighty big class out here. These guys do well. They're very competitive. Okay, next up's been part of Nebraska. Has been running on alcohol for many years, and we're going to talk about some of those folks. So let's settle family out here a little bit. I even kind of falls under that crowd of running the small farm homes on alcohol. Had a real good season last year. Been fighting the system a little bit this year, but Ivan Miller out of Maxwell, Nebraska, does a lot of pulling with the Nebraska Tractor Pullers Association. So we're glad to have him over here with the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Puller Series in Lincoln. Out of Sumner, Nebraska. Okay, we're agreeing on the 7,700-pound super stock side. It's going to be Brian Howard out of Centralia, Kansas. It'll be a case on alcohol. So case stands, root this guy on down. He's going to run 3 big turbochargers. And they've been running into points with the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pullers out of St. Martha, Kansas. Ladies and gentlemen, give their round of applause. Elders Repair, these folks, they are in the Elders business down there, automotive repair parts. Brian is one of the sons of make a decision on who's going to come number 1 out of the Alaska State Fair in this 1,800-pound class. So we're going to have Mark and Gene back here in a little bit. So our last tractor of the class, the City Forest and 1 John Deere. So John Deere fans, here's another John Deere for you. Rod's been playing with a little bit of problems this year. He has taken the points championship with the Nebraska Tractor Pullers Association in the 5,500-pound class and has placed quite high in the 7,500-pound class. I'll tell you what, he's been doing a lot of work for this tractor this last week, made a lot of major engine changes on this thing. Okay, second attempt by Ron Pasoda out of Pasoda, Nebraska. Okay, having trouble. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all he's going to do this evening. Give a round of applause. Ron Pasoda out of Ravenna, Nebraska. Two-way blow-off here. We're going to find out if it's going to be his. Right now, he goes the distance out. 296 feet at 4,100ths of a foot, ladies and gentlemen. So 296. Okay, back on the south track. It's going to be Schmale out of Bridgeport, Nebraska. And this is going to be an alcohol-powered 550 mile. Okay, give Greg a big round of applause. He's all the way from out there in Bridgeport, Nebraska. And his dad, Pete Lissetto, and his mom, Linda Lissetto, have been here at the Nebraska State Fair many times. Pete's been very Adelia, Missouri, on board a 686 Farmall. It runs on diesel. It has 3 turbochargers. And it's called the Rawhide. These guys have been pulling for many, many years. Saw them down at Sedalia doing a fine job down there at the State Fair here a couple of weeks ago. And let's see if we can get all of the fuel in there, get the turbos running, and get some kind of air pressure. They tell us they get up around 200 pounds of intake manifold pressure and a lot of diesel fuel. So let's see what they can do here. Veteran tractor puller for many, many years, Larry Wilson. Really nice guy, a friend of mine. And these guys are a lot of fun to talk to and so forth. So all the way from out there in Sedalia, Missouri, the Rawhide tractor. That's going to wrap up the 1,800-pound mini-rod session for this evening. And Mark Stiggy with the Stud Monkey has come out of this thing number 1. It's going to be Kevin Schreier out of Lexington, Missouri. He's going to be on the Red Royal. He farms over there. Kevin's been pulling this tractor for quite a few years. It's a good run, a little farm-on tractor. Every time we get down into Missouri, we get to see Kevin. And let's see what he can do here. He does quite well. Usually stays pretty well in the points in the super stock ranks with the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pullers Association. On the road track, we're going to get underway with the Super Farm or Pro Stocks. That's basically sanctioned by the Nebraska Bush Pullers Association. We'll get them underway in a moment. So we're underway, 7,700-pound super stock. The Red Royal, Kevin Schreier out of Lexington, Missouri. 966 moving up in there, putting the whip track up to the 300-foot mark. It's going to be a little bit short, but clean right in the middle of that. John Dahl out of Minnesota on the Pro Fox. Okay, next up, Linda Lucero out of Bridgeport, Nebraska. Chuck Bridgeport was just a little while ago. Another one of those okay, this is a big round of applause. Linda Lucero out of Bridgeport, Nebraska. I talked about her and her husband Pete a little while ago. They have competed here for the Nebraska State Fair many, many times. Doing quite well with this. Okay. John Peterson with the big John Deere goes to a 4-pole status, so obviously moves into first place out of a 2-tractor situation right now. And as we take a look at the entries here, we have 13 tractors entered in this sanctioned 9,000-pound Nebraska Bush Pullers class. And helping me here.